got bigger. Did it? No, seriously, did it used to be bigger? It's because David Ramsey's not here this year, so we got a smaller stage. Oh my God. Hey, I have a special treat for you guys, a special treat for me. Relax, you don't know what it is. Weird stuff happens when I come to Salt Lake City and I do these panels. I end up on Ninja Warrior and stuff like that. Because I'm bizarrely competitive. But I brought a special moderator because I wanted someone that was, no offense, but on my side. And someone that would ask me hard-hitting questions. Could you guys please give a very, very warm welcome to Miss Cassandra Jean Amell. Okay, I figure we'll get right to this. We'll do a little tete-a-tete for a second. What's the thing about our daughter that's the most like me, but it's also the most annoying?
Oh, that's easy. She's super particular. So I will put her, for example, I'll put her down to bed and all of a sudden I'll hear, wait, I can't go to sleep, my blanket's upside down. And he does the same thing, and it's really interesting when I go...
Cass will tell you, we'll be in bed about to go to sleep and I will get up and make the bed. How are you supposed to sleep in a messy bed? It messes everything up.
My favorite thing, which is it's now endearing to me, is when he walks into a room and he will arrange everything and start adjusting everything, and he will even turn window cords around. And sometimes I have to say, Steven, we are at a restaurant, you cannot rearrange the furniture. It's frowned upon.
Now, concurrently, we get to hang around certain kids now, and we went to something called the Pacific National Exhibition, which is like an outdoor fair in Vancouver, and it has the old roller coasters and stuff like that. Our daughter's not even 4 yet. She's barely hit the height requirements for this little wooden roller coaster. You see kids that are like 5, 6 years old who are not going on it. Meanwhile, Cass rode it with her, and the first hill they come down, I tried to get a photo, and all I see is my kid going like this.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's the adventurous spirit that she has. Okay, I'm sure that we'll have a couple more things to go, but let's do some questions.
Absolutely, let's get started.
Oh, a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Arrow's one of my favorite shows. I'm just wondering how you deal with the complexity of Oliver Queen and Arrow being bad sometimes, but you can tell in his heart he's a really good man. So it's...
Well, I think that all of the best characters on television have a little moral ambiguity to them. I think that makes a more interesting character. Some of the most dynamic episodes and moments for me playing the character are moments where he's failing or he's making the wrong decision, because I think that humanizes him a little bit. And then, it's just fun playing him on an ongoing basis. The fact that I have now been living with this curmudgeon for the better part of 6 years, and I think that, Cass can attest to the show, when I'm doing the show, I mean, obviously family time is important, but it takes up an inordinate amount of my brain. But that's a blessing, ultimately. Thank you. How's everyone doing, by the way? Have you been to Salt Lake before? You?
About 15 years ago. I'd imagine it's changed a little bit.
Yeah. We're gonna go out for a nice dinner tonight.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't feel the urge to have anything pumpkin spice until I stepped off of the plane today. And I want all of the pumpkin things. So thank you for that. Thank you for kicking off my fall.
Yes.
Hi, Steven.
Hi.
Love seeing you on American Ninja Warrior.
Thank you.
You did awesome. Did you just let go at the end there? And can we expect to see you on it again?
Well, first of all, I would like to thank whomever was in the audience last year who finally just made me do it and, go for it. I let go at the end for a very simple reason. I could not feel my arms. These exercises in and of themselves are incredibly difficult, but when you put them back to back to back to back to back to back to back, oh boy. Cass will tell you for weeks afterwards, it's not that my arms hurt, it's that they ached. You know what I mean? Like when we went away that weekend after the Ninja Warrior taping, and if I wanted to move my arm to grab my drink, I had to be like.
I think I got a few, I think in the days following I got a few, I love you so much, but please don't touch me.
I would love to go back and do Ninja Warrior again. But really, we did that taping in March, and then we got into our hiatus, and I didn't really get back into really good fitness workouts until a couple of weeks ago because I hurt myself. But we'll see. If they would have me, I would love to go back. That would be really fun. Really fun. Thank you.
Welcome up, Gryffindor.
Hi, so I really love your show. It is just really great. I love Arrow. Oh, I am a huge fan of Arrow. So my question is, if you could become a different character on Arrow or a different superhero, what would you pick?
Well, the Flash has a really cool suit.
That's true.
But Diggle's name is Diggle. I could literally drive myself crazy trying to figure that one out. Being the Flash would be really cool. Just the idea of super speed, that'd be pretty awesome. But yeah, Diggle.
Okay, well let me piggyback off of that one.
Okay.
So you get asked a lot what your favorite villains are, or if you could choose a villain, or if you could be one of Marvel instead of DC. What if you got to create your own superhero from scratch?
Oh boy. Superdad.
Including what superpowers?
Including what superpowers? You can walk into your kid's room in the middle of the night and just your presence makes them go back to sleep. You can just look at them in a restaurant and they just shut up and eat all their food. They would keep watching the same movie every time, but while they're watching a Disney movie, your mind's eye would be playing your favorite rated R film.
That's a really good one. I think that would be.
I might have to build this out into a novel. Very good question, Cass. This has been worth it already. Yes, what's your question, my man?
I was wondering how you like doing the crossover episodes with Flash.
I love it. You know, I don't know if you guys saw the announcement yesterday, but the title of the crossover this year is called Crisis on Earth X, which is based off of a very well-known DC comic storyline, Crisis on Infinity Earth. And when I read the crossover this year, the only thing that I will say is that, you know, when we first did the crossover, I guess back in our third season of The Flash's first season, it was very much like, it's an episode of Flash where I show up, and then it's an episode of Arrow where he shows up. And even last year it was like, you know, Flash showed up on Supergirl, but then it was an episode of Flash, and an episode of Arrow, and then an episode of Legends. This year it's just a 4-hour movie. You're not supposed to, like, technically it goes Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, Legends, but you're not supposed to be watching the Supergirl hour going, okay, this is the Supergirl hour. It's just the first hour of the crossover. And when I I don't know, I can't spoil it other than to say, when I read the crossover scripts this year, I felt compelled to email the original team of Greg Berlanti, Andrew Kreisberg, and Mark Guggenheim, and the email just simply said, guys, thank you very much for this opportunity, because it's going to be really, really cool. Hi.
Hi. How did you become an actor?
That's a good question. I did a play when I was in 10th grade called Inherit the Wind, and I did it to go to a drama festival in Ottawa, which was about 5 hours away from where our school was, to meet girls.
True story.
Does that sound about right?
Oh yeah.
And then you know what? The drama teacher at that school, my high school, came up to me. I had a little tiny bit part, and he said, "You have really good focus, and I want you to play this role in this play next fall." And it just kind of grew from there. So I did it throughout high school, and then I went to acting school, and then I got away for it a little bit, and I dawdled around until I was in my late 20s, and then I dropped everything and moved to LA, and that was in 2010, and here we are.
Wow. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm new to actually watching Arrow because I was injured and I binge watched it like every hour, every day.
Are you caught up?
No. I'm a mom, so I had to stop watching and I didn't have time anymore. But
The island blows up. That's sorry, kid. It doesn't. It doesn't.
But watching
Sorry, go ahead.
watching episode after episode, you realize how many fight scenes you have. So I was wondering, when you took the role, did you have any martial arts training, or is it all choreographed and you use a stunt double a lot?
I do begrudgingly use a stunt double every once in a while. Never without protest and never without backhanded passive-aggressive comments under my breath. You're gonna have Will do that? That's cool. There are just certain things that I can't do, which I understand, because we've had instances on the show, not me, thankfully, but we've had instances on the show where actors have gotten injured, and it messes with the production schedule a little bit. When I got up there, one of the first guys that I met is James Bamford, who was our fight choreographer, became our stunt director, and is now the producing director on the show. Is directing 4 different episodes this year. And he taught me the martial art of fighting on screen. It's a thing, because if you're throwing a punch, you have to know and consider, where's the camera? If the camera is, if I'm punching someone and the camera is over their left shoulder, right, then I want to take the punch deep across the face like that. Whereas if the camera is over their right shoulder, I want to come out really wide with the punch so that it sells. And that's stuff that you pick up. So now it's to the point where when we build out these fights, they can basically get me on the day and break them into 5-6 pieces at a time. And I learn it, we shoot it, I learn the next piece, we shoot it, and it allows us to keep with our breakneck pace and schedule on the show, but also to involve me as much as we possibly can. Thank you.
So the stunt skills, there's obviously a learning curve to that, but if you had to learn how to shoot a bow and arrow, clearly, if you had to pick a new stunt skill to learn, because as his character develops, he's using more and more tricks and he's got more things happening.
And it's not the telekinetic abilities of Superdad, right? A new one?
Maybe on Earth 2? A new one, a new stunt skill.
New stunt skill. I would like to boxing glove arrow. Whoa, oh man, I would like to be a little bit better with kicks. I can't kick. Well, it's like my hips were handed down to me from my grandfather or something like that. I would like to be a lot. I'd like to be a lot better with my feet. I think that would be interesting. Yes, Miss Canary.
If you could bring back a character from a previous season, and even if they're dead, who would you bring back?
I sense some bias here from the little canary.
I'm gonna punt on the question a little bit because we kind of did bring back your person. For me, it's always Tommy Bell. Cass and I got the chance to go to Chicago, where Tommy has become a doctor on TV, and we got to catch up, and it's always great to see him. You know, we forged a really great friendship and have been lucky enough to stay in touch, whether he's making a trip back to Vancouver or I'm filming in New York. And when I was filming Turtles in New York, we got to go to he and Patty's wedding, and Patty's playing Anna in the Broadway adaptation of Frozen, and that is going to make us the coolest parents of all time. And we take our daughter to opening night and we'll take her backstage.
You haven't already started on this Superdad thing, have you?
No. Yeah, so definitely Tommy. I feel like as great as the emotional significance of him dying in the season 1 finale was, and as much as that impacted and still reverberates through the show, I really would have loved to see what happened to that character, because obviously the lore of Tommy Merlin is that he eventually becomes Oliver's greatest nemesis. So, shoot. Thank you. Hi.
Go ahead.
Hi. So, word on the street is that there's going to be a Supernatural Arrow crossover. Can you say anything about that? What do you think?
I love how me wanting something creates a rumor. You know what I also want? I also want 3-day work weeks. Can we start that rumor? Oh man, I would love, listen, if I would love to, without breaking the fourth wall with too much gusto, if I could show up on Supernatural as like someone pumping gas in their car or something like that, or just someone that they murder, that would be tremendous. And maybe it's one of those things where, you know, I know that it doesn't make sense, and I know that it's not the same universe, but at the same time, it's TV and it's supposed to be fun, so maybe, you know, one of these days, Greg Berlanti will be sitting in a room with the head honcho of Supernatural, and they'll both just go, why not? I'm glad it's a rumor, though. Keep it up. Keep it up. It's definitely happening. Keep it up. What's up?
I'm like super nervous. So okay.
That's okay. So am I.
What's the best and worst thing about playing and acting and stuff?
The best and worst thing about just acting?
Yeah.
I would say that it's the same thing, actually. The best thing about acting in this particular job for me is how busy we are, and the worst thing is probably how busy we are. I think that the writers and producers and actors and crew members would tell you that 23 episodes is not necessarily the ideal number of episodes to do per year. I think if we were to craft a story, or if you were to look at some of the more some like Game of Thrones, or what they do on Netflix with I assume like the new Punisher series, that's probably going to be like 10 episodes, 12 episodes. And what that also allows you to do is basically film all the episodes before a single one airs, which is a tremendous advantage, because you can take a look at the whole thing and you can almost move pieces around, or you can look at the edit of episode 1 and highlight something that's going to pay off for the viewer in episode 10 or 12 or whatever your finale is. Meanwhile, our episode 601 is locked, and our episode 623 is months and months and months away. So we lose that advantage a little bit, but you know, if I were to have to choose, is it the best thing or the worst thing, I would say the best, because being busy is a real blessing. Thank you.
know if you know this, but when you type your name into autocorrect,
Smell.
yeah. When I first started,
I did go to elementary school at one point, okay?
when I first heard about you, I thought your name was Steven Smell.
At least you know my first name.
My friend told me about you. Anyway, I was just wondering what kind of smell, because I'm really into aromatherapy and stuff. I was just wondering what kind of smells relax you and what smells help you when you're anxious and what smells make you happy and all that good stuff.
Three good smells for you. Vanilla, baby powder, and Christmas.
I mean, none of those are in the aromatherapy multi-pack that I just bought for our bedroom.
Yet.
Hopefully there's
Where's
some
the
new
holiday
favorites.
aromatherapy pack,
It is
Cass?
September. I told you that
Okay.
my pumpkin started today.
Right. Something you need to know about my wife is it's not even the Christmas season until you've eaten the turkey on Thanksgiving. She was in Whole Foods the other day and she saw this really healthy type of eggnog and got legitimately upset. She had me on the couch and it's one of those conversations that you have to have as a married couple where I have to go, look, I know that this is important to you. But can we keep watching the show?
Holiday timing aside, if I see coconut nog on the shelves during Labor Day weekend, the first thing is this leftover from last year?
Rage.
Rage.
She's red.
Holiday rage.
Yes, young lady. I like your shirt.
Thanks.
Thanks.
So my name is Emma, and I'm your #1 fan, and I was wondering.
Is that true? I heard my #1 fan was in Salt Lake. Is it you? Well, I'm glad that we finally met.
Okay, and what's your favorite villain you faced in the 5 seasons of Arrow?
Oh, that's a great one. I think that from a lore perspective, and from the way that it played out, I would go with Deathstroke. But I don't know that we'll ever be able to match the emotional gravity of Prometheus, who I thought was really, really great. Let's see where you guys think. What's up?
So I like your idea of 3-day work days too.
Yeah, big time.
But I want to know, what is the most difficult part of your job?
The most difficult part of my job is not always having as much control as I would like, coming from the guy that does actually physically rearrange furniture in restaurants. When people think of Arrow, they think of me, right? That's what happens when you play the titular character on a show. When people think of Arrow, they think of me. And yet, is titular a funny word? Did I miss something?
Exactly, you might have to
Let's be adults. Titular, okay? I thought it was pronounced differently for a long time. But anyway, there are things on the show that I would do differently, simply because I have different priorities. I am an information hoarder. I wouldn't release a preview. I would release a preview before the first season, and then coming up to the 6th season, I literally, especially with the way that the 5th season ended, I would have put everything under lock and key. That's not how the producers, and by extension the network and the studio that we work for, do things. I don't have a problem with the way that they do things. I just am very particular and have become more particular the longer that I've done the show, and thus have opinions about that stuff. So there are just things that happen with the show that still come across as me representing it, that maybe if I had a say, we would frame things a little bit differently. So maybe the hardest part is being the representative of a show, but also continuing to understand my place in it. I'm an actor, I'm not a writer. I'm not a producer. I say the words that are on the page. I don't have say in promotional materials. I don't have say in what gets included in previews. And the thing that I know, and Cass would agree here, is I've said multiple times that if I ever did television beyond Arrow, I would only ever do it if I was involved in the entire through line of the process. So please don't take that as a criticism. I mean, take it out of context and plaster it as criticism if you want, but it's just a matter of recognizing my role and staying in that lane. Sometimes that's the toughest thing. Thank you. Stephen Amell blasts producers, studio and network in a fiery Salt Lake City Comic-Con tirade. Just doing your headline copy for you. What's up, man?
Question for Stephen Amell. What's your favorite character and animal in Zootopia?
What's Maddie's favorite character in Zootopia?
I don't know.
I don't know.
She's seen it one time.
Okay.
She's really into Madagascar right now.
Madagascar is more her speed, yeah.
She seems to take to that one a little bit more than Zootopia, and we'll hear her in the next room when I put her down for bed, and I just hear, I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it.
Can I take a rain check on that question until the next time I'm here when I will have seen that movie 115 times? Thanks, man. What's up, bud?
Nothing much. First of all, you could be the Flash if you become Bart Allen.
Okay.
Yeah, and so anyway, you are amazing in Arrow, and you are amazing in Ninja Turtles, as well as at SummerSlam 2 years ago.
Thanks, man.
And you definitely deserve that Slammy. My question is, who would you say is a better sidekick for the Green Arrow? Arsenal or Speedy?
The cross-country tour of people making me choose between Willa Holland and Colton Haynes continues. Okay, I'm gonna say Arsenal, okay? And here's why. Because Speedy can always still be my family sidekick without necessarily being my sidekick in the field. She'll always be my sister before she's my sidekick. So if Roy was in Arsenal, I wouldn't care about him, you know? So yeah, I'll go with Arsenal on that one. Thank you.
What have you got for us?
Hi, so I'm sure everybody knows that Green Arrow has that like rockin' goatee in the comics, and I was noticing in last season your facial hair was kind of getting thicker as the season went on.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
Yeah.
It's called I don't want to shave. I don't want to shave. I don't want to shave, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
So I was wondering if at some point, maybe this season or even in the future, you'll get that traditional goatee going on.
Okay.
Has anyone seen the Vacation Steve mustache?
Oh boy.
Do any of you guys follow on Instagram, Facebook? He grows out the white stash.
I think that this is going to end up being the promise that Salt Lake City makes me make this year. I promise you, before the series, not season, but the series ends, we will have at least one shot with the iconic goatee. It's like I can't help myself getting in trouble at these things. always so much trouble. Always so much trouble.
It's okay, it's probably not documented at all.
Yeah. Okay, yes.
Hi, Steven. So I have a little brother here in Utah who is a state trooper, and recently they had a fallen officer, and to honor him, they do like 300 push-ups a day for 30 days.
Okay.
So yeah, so they do them in sets, so like sets 20, 30, and so I joined them in that. And
Yeah?
I'm doing them in like sets or 20 or 30 as well. So
Okay.
I was wondering, just like a little bit of motivation for myself, how many can you do in a row?
How many can I do in a row?
Push-ups.
I'm not doing push-ups right now, guys.
I know that wasn't listed in the rules, but we can do it.
I almost broke my wrist yesterday doing ring push-up things, whatever. In a row, proper ones? I feel like it's going to be somewhere north of 60 and somewhere south of 100. Is that good? Good. All right. So wait a second. So what you're saying is it's 300 push-ups for 30 days? All right, I'm in. I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I'll find it. I'll figure it out. I'll do it. I got it. You bet.
When they turn off the fasten seatbelt sign?
Hey, so. I've been good with this. You know, Cass knows how much I love this show called This Selection, which is the SEAL Team Selection Training reality show. I'd encourage everybody to watch it. And they have this exercise called, oh gosh, what is it? It's like integrity sets or like the integrity exercises. They have to go to all these different stations and do like 50 burpees or 50 push-ups or 50 jumping jacks or whatever, and they don't know that they're being recorded. So trust me, I'll do at least 305 every day. Anyway, yes, what's your question?
So, who is your favorite person to film with on Arrow?
I would say just based on the amount of time that we've spent together, and I'm always gonna have preference towards the people that I started with. But I mean, it really did begin with David Ramsey. You know, David and I, in my mind, set the template for the show and how we do things to this day. The very first time it was the two of us in the Arrow Cave, and you know, in order for our show to be producible, we have to have these days where we rip off like 14, 15, 16 pages of just he and I going back and forth. And it was a Friday, and it was a 1 o'clock start, and I turned to him and I said, let's stay close to set. Let's get this done, and let's just bang it out. And that, to me, is the template for how we continue to be able to make the show. So, Mr. Ramsey.
We have time for a few more, so we'll throw it to Gaston.
Okay, so...
No one...
So, in the show, you change emotions very quickly and a lot, and they're very deep, deep emotions. And I love to act, and both me and my best friends were wondering this, Annabelle, and we're wondering, how do you learn to channel those emotions so quickly and so deeply on the show?
Well, thank you, first of all. I would say that, you know, some of it is, everyone has their different technique. Some people use like real life recall, like they go to a traumatic moment. It's not really for me, you know what I mean? You know, a lot of it is helped by the actual relationships that I personally have with the people that I'm acting with, be it David or Emily or Willa or Katie or whomever. We've grown close over time. We've grown a bond over time. So when their character is going through something, or when I see the way that they react, that helps me. And then, you know, I don't know, sometimes it's just, you know, it really helps having lived in Oliver's skin for, you know, all of these years and to have so much invested. And I think about, is the show important to me? Yes. Is the scene important for the show? Yes. Instant emotions. happy, sad, angry, calm, you name it. It's just, the show helps me get there. Thank you. The hair makes the costume, by the way. What's up, man?
Go ahead.
Hello. We all know that you can shoot a bow. I want to know how long did it take and how difficult it was to learn how.
You're gonna hate my answer. A couple days. No, I really, the most important thing is form. We spent a lot of time on form, especially in that first year. And I focus so much on form because 99 times out of 100, I'm not shooting an actual arrow. I focus so much on form that when I do actually pick up an arrow, like even if it's a crossbow at a carnival and I'm trying to win our daughter a 6-foot-tall unicorn, I tend to have pretty good aim.
Hi. So which NHL team could Casey Jones be an asset to right now? Even though it's preseason.
Which NHL team?
Yeah.
As much as I want to say the Kings, in honor of Casey Jones, I'm going to go with the New York Islanders. Does Utah have a semi-professional hockey team? Grizzlies. Okay, well, Casey would probably be like a minor league player, so the Grizzlies. What's up, man?
Hey, Steven. Super nervous. I got a question for your wife.
Good.
Okay.
What are some of Steven's most annoying habits at home?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, he's very particular, so he likes things in a very specific spot. The problem is that spot changes. So one day he'll love to put the laptops on the counter, and then the next day he'll put them in the closet. Same with jackets, blankets, really anything that I'm trying to access.
Never forget the purse.
The purse, I was actually getting to the purse. I had a black clutch and I couldn't find it anywhere, and I had my phone, and I go, I have my phone, I couldn't have left it somewhere because my phone was in my clutch. I'm texting him saying, where is it? He's on set, he's not answering. I tear apart our entire tiny loft, can't find it. I'm about to call the restaurant that I was at the night before. I sit down on the couch and I see it tucked into the record player. And I talk to him afterward and I say, why the record player? Why would you put that there? And he goes,
ready for some sound logic? Go ahead.
Black goes with black. My things is sometimes a little frustrating.
We have time for probably 5 more questions.
Five quick ones.
Five more.
Everybody commits to a quick one.
So.
Hi. I just wanted to say I went and saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 by myself because none of my family members or friends wanted to go, and absolutely loved you in it.
Thank you.
I wanted to know if you knew hockey, if you played hockey when you were younger and you already knew how to play, or did you have to learn for the movie?
I'm Canadian.
Yeah. Okay.
We have to learn the basics by the time we're 6, or they get rid of us. You guys think I'm kidding? I know, like Canada, pacifist, peacekeepers, all this stuff. Yeah, if you don't learn to play hockey, you're in big trouble. But yeah, no, I knew. I hadn't rollerbladed in a while though. That took a second. Yes, Pazzaro.
Thank you. I was wondering actually about your new bow for season 6. I've seen in the trailers, you can tell a little bit that you get a recurve, which is awesome. But we haven't had a great look at it. Do you have an idea what type?
It's a lot like the season 1 bow. And not really for any particular reason. I was just like, guys, it's time. It's time. I wanted to go a little old school, you know what I mean? So I was like, my pitch to them was, let's do a recurve and let's pretend that Cisco made it.
Hi, my name is Steven.
Hey, buddy.
Question. So, with season 5 coming to close with the flashbacks, how will you, with the 5 years that passed, how will you make it different with season 6?
You know, so sometimes we have flashbacks, sometimes we don't. Like for example, this year we tell the origin, not the origin story, but we tell, we fill in some pieces for Slade Wilson's story. I know that I think a couple of other people are gonna have flashbacks. I have not had a flashback, and you know, but then they probably just don't want to pay for a wig because I burnt the other one.
Okay, last question. Sorry, guys. Last one.
Second to last.
Okay, 2 more.
Hey, moderator,
Vito.
easy does it. Thank you.
I was just wondering what your favorite project was outside of Arrow.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm actually gonna go with the HBO show that I was on, Hung. Yeah, that was my first sort of big series regular job. Got to film it on the Paramount lot in LA. That was amazing, and I just felt a real sense of accomplishment being on a show like that for a network like that, and holding my own. I thought so. I think that was my favorite job outside of Arrow.
Also an interesting show for my parents to watch before even meeting him. It all worked out.
By the way, that's your fault. Who are you dating? This guy named Steven. What's his last name? Doesn't matter. What does he do? I don't know. What's up?
So I'm really surprised nobody's asked this with your wife being here, but how did you guys meet?
That's a tremendous question, and it's a great way to wrap up. My favorite show in history is Mad Men. My favorite episode of Mad Men ever is the season 4 finale. It's an episode called Tomorrowland, and in that episode, Don Draper goes off to California and falls in love, and so there's a lot of like interesting themes, and meets this beautiful brunette, and they get engaged and they get married, all that good stuff, right? But meanwhile, back in New York, there is sort of a drought in the office in terms of signing new accounts. And this beautiful girl comes into the office to explain that she was just on a modeling job and got fired, and because they didn't like the creative, so they're looking for new creative, so she's basically bringing the office a lead. And she's so striking that it's really annoying Peggy Olson because none of the men are doing any work. That actor is sitting right next to me right now. And I was rewatching that episode for like the 4th time, and I paused it and I did what any normal person does. I Googled her, found her Twitter. She was in LA, that wasn't a surprise. But we were going to an event at the same venue. I swear to God, this is true. 2 nights later, I went up, I introduced myself. I was about to leave, she gave me her number. We went to dinner the next week. And that was that. Thank you to Miss Cassandra. Thank you. Hey,
Stephen Amell.
Hey, Salt Lake. I know I was here last year. It's not an accident that I'm back here. I absolutely love coming here. Thank you guys so much.
We are going to do a group photo, guys. Please give it up for Stephen Amell and his lovely wife, Cassandra. Hold your lights up, hold your lights up, hold your lights up, hold your lights up. Okay, on the count of 3, guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Keep your lights up so I can see what it looks like. There you go.